Moving on, the forest perishes without the tiger, and thus the forest should protect all the tigers. This is a quote from Mahabharata that the top court cited today while hearing a plea by an environment activist challenging the Uttarakhand government's proposal to have a tiger safari and a specialized zoo at the Jim Corbett National Park. The Supreme Court came down heavily on the Uttarakhand government for felling trees and the illegal construction of structures inside the national park. In a big setback for the government, the Supreme Court has stopped tiger safari in core areas of the park, saying that the netas and the babus have thrown people's trust into the waste bin. However, it allowed tiger safari in buffer zones, considering the income that it generates, warning the authorities that tours must follow the given guidelines, also asking if it can be permitted in buffer zones. Well, there was something for the ex-forest minister as well. The Supreme Court wrapped Harak Singh Rawat and an ex-forest officer for taking law into their own hands. The court said it was amazed at the audacity of Harak Rawat in giving rules a total go-by. It also said the state has let the damage happen in the national park, and now it is the responsibility to make recovery from those who committed the damage. It has also now directed the CBI, which is already probing the case, to file its status report on the matter within 3 months. I'm being joined at this point by my colleague Harish. Harish, very strong words from the Supreme Court.
Yes, Neha, the tiger perishes without the forest, and the forest perishes without its tigers. Therefore, the tiger should stand guard over the forest, and the forest should protect all its tigers. This is how the importance of the tigers in the ecosystem has been succinctly described in the Mahabharata. This is how Supreme Court bench led by Justice B.R. Gavai began the judgment. Supreme Court, as you rightly said, banned tiger safaris within core areas of reserve forests, and though allowed these in peripheral and buffer zones only. Supreme Court issued a series of directions for conservation of tiger. It was court's order, in fact, broader effort to safeguard the natural habitat of tigers and mitigate the potential impact of tourism on the core areas of the forest reserve. Remember, Supreme Court, while allowing establishment of tiger safaris in peripheral and buffer zones, has imposed stringent conditions to ensure the protection of wildlife and the environment. The move is to ensure a delicate balance between promoting tourism and preserving the integrity of the sensitive ecosystems within the Jim Corbett Park. Supreme Court, as you rightly said unholy political bureaucrat nexus caused heavy damage to the forest and environment, and said state must estimate the cost of damage and recover it from those guilty of causing damage to the ecology. In fact, the bench asked CBI, which is probing the case, to submit status report in 3 months. Supreme Court, as you rightly put, Sneha, came down heavily on former Forest Minister Harak Singh Rawat and DFO Kishan for causing havoc to Corbett Tiger Reserve by allowing felling of trees, thousands of trees. Supreme Court bench said, we are amazed by the audacity of the minister and the DFO. Supreme Court said figures show that substantial reduction in tiger poaching, but ground realities cannot be denied. Illegal felling of trees like what happened in Corbett cannot be ignored. In fact, the Supreme Court said the Minister of Environment and Forest shall constitute a committee of representative of National Tiger Conservation Authority and Ministry of Forest and Environment. They shall recommend measures to restore the damage to fauna and flora, with a special emphasis on securing tigers and tiger reserves and quantify costs of restoration. So, Sneha, in fact, a big intervention from the Supreme Court as far as protection of tiger reserves and in fact, the entire sentiments as far as the protection of tigers and its reserves are concerned. Back to you.
Right. Harish, thank you very much for bringing us those details.